Well, did we make it? Is it live with Minutes of Milo right now? I hope so, because I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. YouTube gonna pop it up? Who knows? I'm experiencing quite the technical difficulties this evening. Quite the technical difficulties. Don't see it. Just don't see it. Go to my channel. It says it's live. Is it live yet? Alright. Started less than 1 minute ago. Man, I don't know. Looks kind of dark in here, doesn't it? And I don't have my room lights on. That's the difference. That's why. I just didn't put my room lights on. So anyway, welcome to the Minutes with Milo show. Take, I don't know, 3, 4, 9, whatever it might be. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're watching it. I'm glad I'm able to be here to bring you joy and entertainment. So, if you don't know what the Minutes of Milo show is, started it 101 shows ago. 2 shows a week, usually Mondays and Thursdays. And started out, and it's still, I hope to be like just a call-in talk show. But sometimes we have predetermined guests. I've got to get another guest. I want to do a contest, get the band back together, the boy band, and do a movie quote kind of contest. Done a couple of things, get those guys together and see who recognizes my thought up questions on movie quotes. So, I'll probably win. I'm going to be the moderator. I've always wanted to be a broadcaster, so I've done that. Now I can be a moderator. That'll be 2 things. So, tonight's show is the 101st show. Excuse me, like I said, I've done 2 shows a week for roughly a year, give or take. And so I should have done this on Monday. Today's Thursday. I should have done it Monday because that would have been the 100th show, and well, it was the 100th show. And I could have went back 100 years, which is more even. But hey, this is the 101st show. I'll go back 101 years. What were these people doing 101 years ago? Not necessarily on this day and this moment and everything like that, but, generally 101 years ago, in 1922. What were they doing? So I looked up a couple places, a lot of news items. Some of them are interesting, some of them not so much, and not all of them related to the United States. Some of you may find that more interesting, maybe not. I don't know. Hey, there's Robert. Hello, Robert. We were just about to get into what in the devil was going on 101 years ago and see. Whoa, that just freaked me out there a little bit. Calm down. Thought my monitor was tipping over, but it's just I messed up my camera. Come on, there we go. How's that? Now we're cooking with gas once again. So let's get on here. Window capture. Let's look at that. What is it? There it is. Yes. Put that over there. Let's hide our Telephono number. Alright, so 100 years ago in 1922. So I don't know why it says life 100 years ago in 1922. I think that's just the name of the website. Births, milestones, all that kind of stuff. And this apparently is put out by Cleveland.com. Do you see that? Let's continue without disabling that ad blocker. What do you say? It's hard telling what we might get. So look, there's a couple of girls skiing, water skiing, which I find interesting because it used to be the Roaring Twenties. That is correct. We've come 100 years away from the Roaring Twenties. So let's see. The two girls here that are water skiing side by side look like they're probably in a ski show, a water ski show. And there used to be one in Gatlinburg or in Pigeon Forge, Tommy Bartlett's Water Circus. I used to love to go to that place. And I was just always amazed at the tricks and the things that they could do in such a small, call it a lake, man. It was like a pond. My book, it was a pond. But anyway, it was interesting. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. And so, we used to go down there whenever we could and spend money. Tommy Bartlett's Water Circus, something like that. So, hey, there we are in the corner. You up there in the corner. So let's see what it says. This is the Cleveland.com. Let's go and see. Year 1922, an Ohio girl winning Miss America. Lighthearted and serious inventions, a deadly snowstorm, and other milestones. This is the 9th year we have compiled our 100-year book. Look back. So, not with us, but born in 22, John B. Anderson, Republican president candidate. Don't know, never heard of him. Film musician Elmer Bernstein, never heard of him. Fashion critic Mr. Blackwell. Well, let's just go skip through here. Never heard any of them. So, actress and singer Doris Day performed Love Me or Leave Me in 1955. Alright, what's so special about that? Was she born in 1922? Well, let's look at that. This is the power of the internet. When you just don't know what you're looking at, let's look it up. Bit of an echo, Robert says, and I think I know what that is. Zam. How's that? That should be better right there. There's Clell. What's up, Clell? Clell, do you believe that Doris Day was born in 1922? I don't know. It's on this page, but we're going to find out. She's quite the looker, the Doris Day. All right, I can't type that looking. Get over it. Doris Day. No, what is that? See, I can't even type when I do look. Oh, I should have turned on the overhead light. See, that's a. Where's my O's at, boys? There they are, right next to the eyes. Doris Day. There it is. Let's see. Doris Day started a career in 39, so maybe she was. Yes, right there. Doris Day, 1922 to 2019. Huh. So she was born in 1922. I saw movies, a lot of movies with her in there. That don't look like her though. I guess in a way it does. This is a black and white photo, right? So She was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, I would assume. Who is this? Ava Gardner. That was in 67. Judy Garland. She was born in 22. Bill King, cartoonist of the Family Circus, was born. Jack Klugman. Wow. Is that not hard to believe? Jack Klugman was born in 1922. My gosh. Stan Lee. Is this the dude that always ends up in these Kill Bill shows and stuff? I think it is. I don't know. He's probably dead by now. Sure. That's 100 years, dude. Gotta be passed away by now. Yep. Same dude. What was Stan Lee's last words? Well, I'm sorry, I don't want to know. Comic book writer, editor, publisher, producer, he rose through the ranks of a family-run business called Timely Comics. Isn't that something? Wow. 1922 to 2018. Died in 2018. Yeah. He did those little cameo appearances. That's kind of wild. Common duo Dick Martin and Dan Rowan. Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. I remember that. So if they were born in 22, Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In was that early 70s? Man, surely they weren't in their 50s when they were doing that. Let's see when that started. Like I said, this is the power of the internet, people. We're learning stuff left and right, hand over fist. Maybe they were in their 50s. American sketch comedy television program that ran for 140 episodes. 1968. So you mathematicians out there, if you're born in 22, how old were you in 68? 46. So they were 46 years old when they started that. Pretty cool. Let's see what else was going on. Darren McGavin, The Dad and Christmas Story. Cool. I remember seeing him in the television show about supernatural stuff. Night Stalker. He was a reporter. And he would report on crazy kind of events that went on, that happened. Let's see, Wikipedia. Kolchak, The Night Stalker, is an American television series that aired on ABC during the 74-75 season. 1 year. The series followed wire service reporter Clark Kolchak, Darren McGavin, who investigated mysterious crimes with unlikely causes, particularly those involving the supernatural and the science fiction, including fantastic creatures. The series was preceded by 2 television movies, The Night Stalker in 72 and The Night Strangler in 73. Although the series lasted only a single season, it rapidly achieved cult status and has remained very popular in syndication. So why did it get canceled? Somebody asked that question. Night Stalker get canceled. The network began airing a new Night Stalker series on September the 29th, tomorrow. in 2005 with the character Carl Kolchak, portrayed by Stuart Townsend. On November 14th, 2005, ABC and creator Frank Swatnitz announced that the new series is being canceled due to low ratings. Well, I mean, that was the second one. What happened to the original? Oh well. I wonder if there's a way to watch some of those things. I wonder if any of that's on, YouTube. Carl Reiner, Charles Schultz, the Peanuts creator, Harold Washington, first African American mayor of Chicago. See what old Harold Washington looked like. In Back to the Future, the guy that was cleaning up in the, I can't remember his in his name, in the cleaning up in the soda fountain, the ice cream parlor or burger joint or whatever it was that they went into, and McFly was in there. And he says, "You'll be mayor one day." And he goes, "Mayor Goldie, I like that." I don't know if Goldie was his name, but it was something like that. Born April 15th, 22, died November 25th, 87. There he is, Harold Washington. Was an American lawyer and politician. He was the 51st mayor of Chicago. He was the first African American to be elected as the city's mayor in April of 1983. He served as mayor from 83 until his death in 87. Born in Chicago and raised in Bronzeville neighborhood, Washington became involved in local Third Ward politics under Chicago alderman and future Congressman Ralph Metcalf. Graduated from Roosevelt University and Northwestern School of Law. There he is. People died. Alexander Graham Bell. Let's see what else was going on. Mary Catherine Gamble of Columbus wins the second Miss America competition. 23, almost won in 24. So how old was she? I saw one of these. There she is, 15. Mary Catherine Campbell, 15, poses in the regal robe and crown after becoming Miss America in 1922. She was 15 years old. I'm sorry, I'm covering up her with my beautiful face. She was 15. That's crazy. Well, I mean, they change the rules as you go along. I guess 15 was about right, since life expectancy was probably 50s or 60s, right? A first class stamp is 2 stamps. To compare today, it's 58 cents. Gas cost 11 cents per gallon. I don't know when this was put out, but it says on January the 3rd, the average price for regular gasoline was $2.90. This page is a few years old. So $100 in 1922 comes to $1,654 today. Oh, there we go. Life expectancy is 58 for men and 61 for women. Oh, looky there. Most popular boys' names was John and Robert. Most popular girl names was Mary and Clell. Isn't that something? Protesters arrived in Washington, D.C. and began picketing in front of the White House. Urged President Warren G. Harding to release their husbands and fathers who were in prison for opposing World War I. Funny man. What happened? U.S. Supreme Court. Pitney suffers a stroke. Dun, dun, dun. George Sutherland begins serving on the court. Remained for 15 years. Day, who was born in Ravenna and buried in Canton, served 1903 to 1922. I don't know why that was important, but I read it. So Betty White, Robert says Betty White and Yvonne DiCarlo. Who's Yvonne DiCarlo? They were born in 22. Aquamaids. Tony Gaines and Adrian Pope cool off at the rate of 35 miles per hour on water skis in Cypress Gardens near Winter Haven, Florida in 1952. They have Ralph Samalsam, something. So this was in 1952. There was a zipping along. Zippity doo dad. So this is it. On June 28th, Ralph Samuelson becomes the first person to ski on water. As in the case of the Wright brothers' inaugural flight, he covered only a brief distance at Lake Pepin in Lake City, Minnesota. He reportedly used a pair of boards and a clothesline as a tow rope. All right, let's see if we got a picture of that. That would be interesting to see. Why didn't he use ironing boards? I mean, dude, they're like surfboards, right? Huh. Well, I'll be. L-I-B. Wikipedia, he's the man. What do you think did he ski behind a boat? I mean, he had to, right? He died in 1977, was the inventor of water skiing, which he first performed in the summer of 1922, Lake Minnesota, just before his 19th birthday. So these people, buddy, were getting on it. Oh, okay. Robert says that the what was her name? Yvonne. Oh, that was her first name. Yvonne DiCario was the lady that played Musters. We'll have to look her up here in a minute. So scroll down. What happened to my mouse? Come on, dude. Okay, I can't get down that far. My picture's in the way. Just before his 19th birthday. So like I said, these people were doing things young because they didn't live to be old. Samuelson was already skilled at aquaplaning. What is aquaplaning? Oh my gosh. Aquaplaning is a surface water sport which involves riding a board, aquaplane, over the surface of a body of water towed behind a boat. Developed in the early 20th century, aquaplaning became popular for several decades, but was superseded by the development of similar sports such as water skiing in the 20s and kneeboarding in the 50s. They just basically put a daggone rope through a board. Check her out. Through a board and rode it behind the boat. Isn't that something? That's crazy, man. Look at them. Yee doggies. Is that a dude? Well, girl's got her a daggone chair. She could be sitting down. She's a stunt woman there. That's pretty cool. So the dude split the board, aquaboarding, in half. Did that on a car hood once. So you rode it on the snow. One of them big old Chevy pickup truck kind of hoods, like a canoe front or something. Clell was quite the adventurer. Quite the adventurer. So he split it, and Samuelson did not patent his invention, nor was his work sufficiently publicized at the time to prevent U.S. patent for whatever number for water skis from being subsequently issued on October the 27th, 1925, to prolific inventor Fred Waller of Huntington, New York. Apparently Fred Waller was a thief. Samuelson's early attempts included using staves from wooden barrels, which was pretty cool, and snow skis, before he created a new skis made of pine boards 8 feet long, 9 inches wide. He bent them up the front tips after softening the wood by boiling them in his mother's copper kettle. Gaining confidence on the water, he began jumping wakes, but broke the original skis. My gosh, how would you break pine boards that were 9 inches wide? Of course, they were 8 feet long, so, maybe that helped a little bit. His slightly modified second pair, which still exists. Today they are at the Lake City Chamber of Commerce in Lake City, Minnesota. So, water skiing was invented in 1922. Pretty daggone cool. Learned something new. Of course, I'm sure he didn't look this good skiing when he did it. Probably not. Eller Beck creates the first manual practical retractable hardtop system. Hardtop convertible. Stephen J. Popolowski creates the electric blender intended for making malts and milkshakes. Insulin was first used on a person to treat diabetes. Now I looked at this. It was in Canada, and a doctor gave insulin to a 14-year-old boy. Wasn't even an adult. Shot him up with some insulin. Raymond DeWalt invents the radial arm saw, an effective power tool used for crosscuts of longboards and a standard tool that remains in use today. Yes, it does. Christian Kent Nelson received a patent for Eskimo pie. He was not an Eskimo, by the way. Not an Eskimo. Chemist C.P. Callister creates Vegemite in Melbourne, Australia. The spread is made from leftover brewer's yeast. They say that is quite the taste. Reader's Digest, first published Reader's Digest in 22. Uncovers the intact tomb of King Tut. Radio is broadcast in Cincinnati. White's first radio station goes on the air. What else? Boring. Nanook of the North is released. Filmmaker is credited with being the first person to successfully combine documentary footage with the art of storytelling in cinema. Robert Flattery. Flattery. Nanook of the North. Who's this dude? Booth Tarkington. Wards 1, Wards Disasters. DC had a savage snowstorm in January caused the collapse of the Knickerbocker Theater roof, killing 98 people. Over several days, 28 inches of snow slammed the city. Wow. April 17th, the first mid-air collision of commercial airliners occurred about 70 miles north of Paris. The collision involved an airplane flying mail with 2 people aboard, a Goliath carrying a pilot and 4 passengers. There were no survivors. A 2-day strike at Southern Illinois Coal Company ends bloodily, and 21 people, most of them strike breakers, are killed in what will be known as the Heron Massacre. Wow. Who knows what colleges? Who cares what colleges were found? Alright, so Cleveland.com. That's all they're telling us. Let's look at this dude here. This is not so interesting. I saw this one. Had to have it. Historical events in 1922. British Columbia starts driving on the right side of the road. First living person identified on a U.S. coin, Thomas E. Kirby, on the Alabama Centennial half dollar. So I guess he was the first person that was alive that got to be on a coin. Interesting. In case you were wondering, KQV AM in Pittsburgh, PA begins radio transmission 1922. A lot of radio stuff. Geological Survey says U.S. oil supply will be depleted in 20 years. That was January the 19th, 1922. Guess what, boys and girls? They're saying the same stuff now. Of course, they're just choking it off. 21 first slalom ski race ran in MwM, Switzerland. There's that Eskimo pie patented by Christian K. Nelson of Iowa, not an Eskimo. King Tut discovered, yeah. King Tut. Oh, in 1922, on February the 22nd, 1922, on, let's see, yeah, 22nd, 1922 at 2 p.m., 2:22 p.m. and 22 seconds. A lot of twos, all twos. Everything was twos. That was Pope Pius the 11th. Radio arrives at the White House in 1922. Snow on Mauna in Hawaii. That's interesting. What else is going on? What else is going on? Airship Rome explodes at Hampton Roads in Virginia and 34 were killed. A lot of radio stuff, radio stuff, radio stuff. So, 1922, Babe Ruth signs a 3-year contract with New York Yankees at $52,000 a year. Let's see, 52. Go back. Let's see if we can figure this out. 1922, 52,000. All right. Let's see what this says. Calculate. Oh my gosh. So in 1922, he signed a 3-year contract for $52,000. In today's money, that's $892,107. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Yeah, 22 was a busy year, but I bet you all, if you started looking back at these things, Robert, I bet every year's busy like that. It seems like, because there's probably something going on, continuously, all the time. I mean, that's crazy. Annual inflation over this period was 2.85%. Wow. He was a rich dude back in the day. That's just breathing on $1 million right there. Sherwin Badger won men's figure skating championship. Eugene O'Neill's Harry Ape premieres in New York. He was a playwright. What's your radio stuff? Why are they looking at that? Radio in Honolulu, St. Louis, St. Louis, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri. First Southern radio station begins, WSB of Atlanta, Georgia. Pacifist and spiritual leader Mahatma Gandhi was put in prison, sentencing to 6 years for disobedience. More AM, FM radio. First airplane lands at the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. Gandhi was the best baseball player ever, Robert thinks. I didn't know Gandhi played baseball. Warren G. Harding, Interior Secretary. Albert B. Fall leases the Teapot Dome oil reserves to Harry Sinclair, setting in motion the Teapot Dome scandals. Back in the day, they were crooked too, but now they seem to be. Let's see what that was. Summary. Yeah, we want summary. Give us the Cliff Notes. Wow. It's the secret leases. That doesn't seem right. Teapot Dome scandal was called Oil Reserve Scandals or Elk Hill Scandal in American history. Scandal of the early 1920s surrounding the secret leasing of federal oil reserves by the Secretary of the Interior after U.S. President Harding transferred supervision of the naval oil reserve lands from the Navy to the Department of the Interior in 1921. Fall secretly granted to Harry Sinclair of the Mammoth Oil Company exclusive rights to the Teapot Dome. It's in Wyoming. He granted similar rights to Edward Doheny, a Pan American Petroleum Company for Elk Hills and Buena Vista Hills in California. It was when they come under investigation, it was disclosed that shortly after the signing of the Teapot Dome lease, Fall and members of his family had received from an unknown source more than $200,000 in Liberty bonds under circumstances indicating that the bonds came from a company organized by Sinclair and others, like a shell company, receiving benefits from the lease. Also, it appeared that prior to the execution of the Pan American contracts and leases, Donnery and Fall's request sent $100,000 in currency to Fall as a loan that had not been repaid. I shouldn't have closed that 1952 money or 1922 money to 23, because let's see what he made. What did he make? Alright, so Teapot Dome, they gave Fall, had received from an unknown source more than $200,000 in Liberty bonds. 200, 1, 2, 3, 22, calculate. Wow, $3,431,000. Wow. Well, there you have it. When the affair became known, Congress directed President Harding to cancel the leases. The Supreme Court declared the lease fraudulent and ruled illegal Harding's transfer of authority to Fall. The court declared the leases fraudulent and ruled it illegal for Harding to transfer the authority to Fall, although the president himself was not implicated in the transactions that had followed the transfer. The revelations of his association misconduct took a severe toll on his health. Delusioned and exhausted, he died before the full extent of the wrongful doing had been determined. Fall was convicted of accepting a bribe in Elk Park Hills negotiations and imprisoned. Donaghy and Sinclair were acquitted of charges of bribery and criminal conspiracy, but Sinclair spent 6.5 months in prison for contempt of court and contempt of the U.S. Senate. Ain't nobody goes to jail now for contempt of nothing on the Senate or government side. Although the Secretary of the Navy, Edwin Denby, had signed all the leases, he was cleared of all charges. Though Teapot Dome entered the American political vocabulary as a synopsis for governmental corruption, the scandal had little long-term effect on the Republican Party. Uh-oh. Republicans. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Where are we? Annie Oakley set the women's record by 100 clay targets in a row. Breaking them, shooting. So lots of things going on in 1922, 101 years ago. Lots of things going on. Chicago pitcher Charlie Robertson throws a perfect game as the White Sox beat Detroit Tigers 2-0 at Navin Field. Charlie Robertson's of Chicago pitches a perfect no-hit, no-run game. So the 30th of April, that's when he pitched a perfect game. And then May the 1st, he pitched a perfect no-hit, no-run game. My gosh. I can imagine. Can you imagine? You know, first few pitches, the first inning, the second inning, man, this is like freaky. You know, third, fourth inning is like, oh my gosh. And then from then on, it would just be, is this dude going to hit this pitch? Is this dude going to hit this pitch? Every pitch you would throw, you would think, this is the one. This is the one. He's just going to knock this thing out of the park. Can't imagine. Alrighty. Don't look like much else is going on. Walt Disney incorporates his first film company, Laugh-O-Gram Films. Laugh O-Gram Films. That's why. Dedication of the Lincoln Memorial happened. 50,000 people turned out for that. That's crazy too. May 30th, Indianapolis 500. Jimmy Murphy becomes the first driver to win the race from pole position, accompanied by his riding mechanic, Ernie Olson. Well, there wasn't two people in the car, was there? Accompanied by riding mechanic, Ernie Olson. What does that mean? Google, what does that mean? Huh. Would they just stop? Clell says, crazy to think the mechanic back then rode shotgun, but did they, like, the car starts missing and farting and coughing, and he pulls over to the side of the track, and the dude gets out and starts messing with the engine? Is that the way it worked? Yeah. Well, this is a picture of him. It's framed. So which one do you think's the mechanic? Which one's this dude's the mechanic? Because this guy's got the steering wheel over here on this side. Wow. Never knew that. Clell, in your first life, were you a riding mechanic? You rode along? So, Clell says the car was tuned on the fly through a spark advance adjuster that was inside the car. So apparently the mechanic would tune the spark or the timing or whatever it was that he could do from inside the car as they drove the track. That's crazy. Clell says he was a trunk monkey. I love those videos. I love me some trunk monkey videos. Got to look at least one. I know we looked at one that one time where he gave the cop a donut. Oh my goodness. I'm going to cry. They're so funny. They are so funny. I hope you can hear them. No, I don't want to see that. 3, 2, 1. Get on with the trunk monkey videos. Come on, man. Can you hear it? Let's see. Hold on. Nope. He says you can't hear it. It says you can't hear it. Why can't you hear it? Oh my goodness. Let's see. Why can't you hear that? Did y'all hear it? I mean, I stopped it pretty quick, but now I've lost them all. Did y'all hear those? Nope. Well, it was nope. Why not? Camo, desk audio. Audio 2, mic, auxiliary 3, lock that down, voice call. I know what I need to do. Where is it? Hmm. All right. Y'all can hear that, right? But it doesn't say that you hear desk audio. Uh, let's try that. Nope. Still can't hear it. Daggone it. Yes, yes. Okay, so you hear the music, but you can't hear this dude. Can you hear that? How about now? Can you hear that? Oh, I gotta figure out why you can't hear that. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, love me some Truck Monkey. Those were just so funny. And there seem to be so many of them. Alrighty. So it's been 52 minutes. The show was just kind of an idea I had when I was I was going to do something else. And I said, this is the 101st video. I looked at the 100 video and I said, well, my gosh, I should have, you know, did a what happened 100 years ago on the 100th video, 100th show. And I didn't. So there you go. But anyway, 1922, a lot of stuff going on. Not a lot of funny stuff, but still yet a lot of stuff. So anyway, nope, Robert, I haven't watched Survivor yet. Probably won't get that until tomorrow night or something. Clell, did you watch Survivor? I don't know if anybody else. Well, nobody else on here. Maybe Clell stepped away. Okay, you watched it. Don't tell me I ain't seen it. Don't tell me nothing. Don't tell me. Bunch of millennials. Well, I mean, you know, what else you gonna get? People don't want to watch Hey, 60 and 70-year-old bodies running around half naked on the beach. Come on, dude. You know, Jeff's trying to stay young. One dude. There was one dude. So one dude in the line of all those, 18 women, 17 women. I'm going to try to watch it tomorrow. See what's going on. Anyway, all right. Gen Z. Gen 2. Second gen. Gen 2.0. Said not to spoil it. Yeah, I know. Don't spoil it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it. The scantily clad millennials. You'll see, Robert says. You'll see. Maybe this will be the last time I watch it. I threatened the last time a couple of times. It's like, man, just when Jeff said, we're just going to say come on in. We don't want to suggest come on in, guys. It's too inappropriate or whatever. I was like, oh, I come close to not even watching it that season. Anyway. All right, everybody. I appreciate you. So if you're watching this after it's live, I appreciate it. If you would like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, let me know what you thought about the video, because right now it's a live stream. When you get to see it, it'll be a video. So let me know what you think about it. Pass it on. Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors. And I guess that's it till maybe Monday. I got to do another video. I was trying to think like not live stream style video, but another cooking video or another video. I got the floor poured in my barn, put some concrete in my barn, so maybe I'll do a barn walkthrough. There was something I was thinking about cooking. I can't remember what it was. I need to get out the hot oil cooker. Maybe this weekend if I shoo the wifey out of the house, I'll have time. I can get something and cook it in hot oil. I'd like to take an egg and just crack it right into the oil and see what happens. White eggs is because it's what I got. And I like eggs. And it's on a, has anybody had a deep fried egg where you just drop it right into the oil and let it sizzle up? Is that how they make egg drop soup? Maybe. Maybe egg drop soup. I don't know. All right, everybody. I appreciate you. And hopefully I'll get a movie out or a video out this weekend. If not, look for another podcast. I got to convert some of these more to podcasts. I look back, I've been doing about one a week, and then I hadn't did one for a month. So I put out two. Deep fried ice cream. See, the thing about deep frying a lot of that, like Oreos and ice cream and stuff, you got to have the batter to dip it in. And if you watched my funnel cake video, you know I don't have really good luck with batter. So I have to come up with a good batter recipe so that if I dip like, ice cream or banana or Oreos or Fig Newtons or whatever it is, or Eskimo pies into the batter and then deep fry it. Because I think that's what you want. I think you want to sear the batter and cook it before you just totally melt the insides of whatever it might be. Anyway, that's my theory and I'm sticking to it. All right, everybody. Appreciate it. Say goodbye. Bye-bye. Y'all